Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the last set I played today on March the 10th. That's a Wednesday, and before we get into that video, I'm going to show one clip that isn't from this set about the team I was referring to on the last video with the Whimsicott lead team with Obstagoon and Galarian Stunfisk in the back. So I lost to this team 3 times yesterday. I played it 2 times again today, so definitely this is going to be a team that shows up for y'all. So I want you to know what to do in those situations. And I beat them in both. I beat the 2 opponents I had with the Whimsicott team today. So I'm going to show that clip first, and that is separate from the last set that I'll show you right here. And I'm about halfway through rank 18. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, again, these games were played off stream, which is why I'm narrating them to you here, or shoutcasting, however you want to say it. Yeah, this is going to be the Whimsicott team first, from a completely different set than this set. On the day, I think I went 15-10, so 60% win rate, and I think this is the lowest amount of wins I've gotten in a day, so teams are getting way difficult out there. So they auto-switch to the Stunfisk, and now what I do here is I just throw my opposite punch, whatever punch you're running, fire punch, ice punch, whatever isn't thunder punch, throw that into it so that Muchlax has a better time with it. So what I've seen in the 5 times I've seen the Whimsicott lead, this is the exact same team every single time. We are going to want to shield this. This is probably Earthquake, and I do need health to take out that Whimsicott later. And then we'll come in with the Muchlax. And then we can decide what we want to do here, depending on how low it gets when we get to the Bulldoze. It does look like it's going to get pretty low, so I think I do just go straight Body Slams, which actually does KO it. 2 Body Slams with all this lick damage. Happens before he gets to that second Earthquake, if you CMP tie on the first Earthquake on Hypno. So just keep that in your head for the time you play them. And you definitely want to get rid of Muchlax here, because the Obstagoon in the back is triple resisting lick damage and doing super effective while trying to get the boost as well. So obviously that's a really bad situation. And what I did in the previous 3 games was I brought in Scrafty because I didn't know the team at all. And obviously Scrafty beats this guy, but I didn't know I didn't shield the Earthquakes before, so that's also possibly another thing you could do, shield the Earthquake, swap out. The problem is if Obstagoon farms down the Muchlax in that scenario, you're going to be in big trouble with if it's boosted, because every time I've seen the Obstagoon, they've also always had Cross Chop, so be wary. Okay, so we do defeat the Galarian Stunfisk with the double Body Slam there, and we're doing some good chip damage here. And yeah, going to come in with the Hypno and try to farm down from here. They're definitely going to get to a Grass Knot. Grass Knot is a pretty cheap move, I think. It looks we definitely have to shield here for sure. We don't need any shields against the Obstagoon, and we also don't need to throw a move either. We can just farm it down. I think they're going to switch right here. Unfortunately, we throw a Confusion, so they do get 2 counters in for free. But I'm not even going to throw Power Up Punch. I don't want to see the shields. We're just going to farm all the way down. Cross Chop does hurt. So this matchup's a little closer than you would think in the 0, but only because we're not throwing any moves, and they're throwing super effective moves back at us. So even if he KO'd us, which he didn't, that would have been far enough down for Hypno to deal with, but then we might have gotten into trouble, yeah, with the Night Slash being super effective for sure. And he does shield here, but luckily for us, we were going to die anyway, so I wanted to just throw a move to try to get the shield. I wish I could have thrown both, and then I could have thrown a move there, but yeah, we end up just farming down. So this is the actual 5 games from the set. But I just wanted to show that first game because you're going to be seeing a lot of that. Okay, my first instinct here is this is double steal in the back. A lot of Medichams go with double steal. It is. So we throw 1 power-up punch, and then we farm all the way down. And we try to get out of that Medicham matchup as fast as we can into the Muchlax. We shield the first move because it's the Earthquake. And then we can farm all the way down. Now, this Stunfisk actually, I don't know if this is like really good IVs, or maybe I switched really late, but they actually ended up with a ton of health if I remember right. I played these games about 2.5 hours ago. So we'll see. Yeah, he has a ton of HP here, but he threw on 6, so this can't possibly be an Earthquake. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 counters, get him super low, wait till he gets to 5, and then KO him to give ourselves a little bit more of the timer here. Oh, actually didn't do it that much in that one, but that's what I try to do in those. Our timer is really close, so I know that one foul play here is going to get us to the timer, and then they can decide whether or not they want to switch out of the Muchlax matchup. It's pretty neutral, obviously. Medicham has the advantage. We're dealing super effective, they're dealing super effective. They have power up punch, most probably, which is going to put us in a bad scenario, but it doesn't matter because we're just throwing away Muchlax to realign for the Bastiodon in the back to go up against the Scrafty. And he actually stays in for a very long time. I do decide to throw the move and get a shield while I can. Doesn't, like I said, this matchup really doesn't matter at all. Hypno's going to realign with Medicham. The shields don't matter at that point. Shields don't matter against Bastiodon and Scrafty either. Yeah, and I think we actually hit this Bulldoze. I don't know if they tried to call a bait or they just thought the game was over because we have Scrafty versus Bastiodon, which makes sense to me. Yeah, so this is definitely one of the teams that's up there. I've actually ran into a lot today. Bastiodon double fighter, which is obviously almost impossible. So if you do get a 3-lick advantage on Muchlax, you can win the 1-0 shield. Actually, you can always win the 1-0 shield on Medicham, but the odds are they won't shield the second move if you beat them to the power-up punch, just from what I've noticed. So that's the only real chance to win that matchup. Outside of that, Hypno just doesn't do enough damage to Bastiodon here in the Bastiodon double fighter comp. I was actually thinking about it earlier. I think Toxicroak's actually a really good pick in the meta right now because there's so much double dark running around. Even though it's bad against Hypno, not all the double dark teams are running Hypno leads, so yeah. And they try to swap in a catch and move, but it doesn't really matter. The game's over here. All right, let's go into the next matchup. All right, what are we going to play against? Scrafty. Okay, a lot of y'all ask what I do in the Scrafty lead. This is what I do. It is a very hard matchup to come back from, but this is how we play it. We go up to the Thunder Punch. They throw the foul play before you get there. But you never shield. You see if they actually devote a foul play to the Hypno, which they almost always do, like 80% of the time, which is fine. But the times that they don't, you're really good. Because you're going to throw this Thunder Punch and then swap to Scrafty to start trying to ramp up damage on his own Scrafty. He has energy, so he's not really going to want to leave. This was an interesting shield by them. And I think I remember this team having a Toxicroak in the back. So weird comp. I think we did almost win this, but I don't think we did win this. Yeah, fighter in the front, fighter in the back. Feels bad because the fighter in the front's actually a dark type for Hypno. You can't win them all, right? But that's my general strategy against Obstagoon and Scrafty leads. Actually, the Obstagoon we play a little different. I'm sure there's been games where I played Obstagoon on the stream or in the channel as well on YouTube. Toxicroak has a move. We probably have to shield it. I think he's one confusion away from dying here. We see the one confusion go through. Actually, I bet he's not. I bet he lives with a sliver, and we actually get that second confusion, which is pretty good. The only thing we have to worry about is Scrafty. Oh, man. I remember there's an Umbreon in the back. Oh, nope. It's Bastiodon. Oh, tough lead. Tough lead, tough back. Because as soon as I switch... Well... No, because we don't have Scrafty anymore. Yeah, this is going to be... I'm pretty sure this is going to be a GG. Maybe if we can land a Bulldoze. I think what happens is he switches to Scrafty here, starts trying to ramp up. We do throw the Body Slam, but I think he shields. Or maybe he doesn't shield. Actually, he probably doesn't shield because it doesn't KO, and then it takes us a long time to look down. Ugh, yeah, and we have to look down from here, and I think we lose like 80%, 70% of our health here. Definitely have to save the shield for the Bastiodon. My win conditions at this point are catch the Stone Edge on Hypno, bait the Bulldoze, and then land a Bulldoze. The thing is, Bulldoze only does 49%, and that's only that's against the non-XL. Against the XL, it only does 40%. So very tough. Yeah. So I go for the bait to take the shield, and then we're going to have to somehow catch. But I think we ended up getting... we just get fast attacked all the way down here. No real play there. Oh, we almost get to the bulldoze. And then that's when I go check on PV Poke right after. I was like, wait a minute, let me see. I don't want to feel bad if we somehow lost that and bulldoze actually KO'd. And I went back and looked and it didn't. So, yeah. All right, Jellicent lead here. This is one of the weirder leads. You definitely don't win as Hypno. It takes 5 hexes to get to a Shadow Ball. So they get there right before you get to the Thunder Punch. Or a CMP, and they win the CMP. Hypno really doesn't win very many CMPs, just so bulky, right? I do like to shield because one time we did get Shadow Balled. Sometimes they do go for the Bubble Beam, and that kind of sucks, but, you know, it's worth it just in case. Well, it is to me at least now that I've been burned by it before. So then I switch out to Muchlax usually right after that, and they go for a Hex, which makes me get 3 licks in. We got a huge advantage now going into this Machamp matchup. I believe I count that they end up getting to 8 before they throw a cross chop, and I really contemplate going for the lick down, but I decide not to because I can always come in with Hypno, and they really don't have a chance to get to any other moves besides cross chop, which really we don't care about. So we'll gain the energy advantage going into the Jellicent matchup again, which obviously is going to give us an edge. Plus Jellicent is... You know, it's a pretty neutral matchup against the Hypno. Hypno, like I said, does lose, but with that extra energy gain and throughout the matchup, you know, you can come back from it. And then Scrafty, obviously, is really good against Jellicent. The only way they have a chance is if they are running Ice Beam as well. We've already seen the Shadow Ball, so it is still possible that they are running Ice Beam. If they had showed Bubble Beam, we would know they don't have Ice Beam because that's a crazy moveset if you run Bubble Beam and Ice Beam. I don't know. I've never seen anyone run that. So they do end up coming in with Marowak. I think about switching right here, and then I was like, you know what? Hypno's kind of done what he's done. We won't shield him at all, and we'll just let this Marowak do whatever they need to do. Since Scrafty's so good against both of these Mon here in the back. And I do end up switching in here on the Shadowbone, or what I think is the Shadowbone. So that's really good. We do resist it. Oh, it was the Bone Club, so they actually went for the bait. Yeah, and now 3 foul plays will KO, take a shield, and then KO both Mon. And now we'll see Moment of Truth. Is there an Ice Beam here? I do think I decide to shield because it is probably the strongest move left in the game. They did go up to 5, so I assumed it was an Ice Beam. I think I get to this next foul play, the second foul play before they get to their next Ice Beam, which is obviously really good because we're going to need to take out that Marowak still in the back. Actually, I think they get it off here. Yeah, and they win CMP. Rip. Doesn't matter, though. We'll take this Ice Beam like a champ, and then we'll have a... Hopefully, it didn't take that foul play. We can farm up a little bit more, give ourselves a little bit of an advantage in the race to the next foul play against the Marowak, and that's going to be GG. Unless they have 2 Bone Clubs. Well, 1 Bone Club and a couple Fire Spins might be enough here, but we're definitely going to make it to this move. They don't have enough farm, and that's a GG. All right, I think that was game 4. No, that was game 3. Holy moly. Still got a couple more games to go. All right, game 4 coming up right at you. What's the lead? Come on, what's that lead? Abomasnow. So I like to go up to the move and then throw the Ice Punch. It is the Shadow Abomasnow, so sometimes it can be scary if they do throw an energy ball at you. I usually don't shield the first one unless they make it really obvious that they're going above the energy ball. They can energy ball here, but they almost never do. They do seem to always go for the weather ball. And then we CMP here, we throw our move, and then we bounce into Muchlax because obviously this is a really good matchup for Scrafty, so we want Scrafty to be able to get into this matchup later down the line, get some of that farm, and go to town on the Mon in the back. So it's an Azumarill. If you've been on this channel before, you know that Muchlax beats Azumarill if it has a little bit of a lick advantage in the ones. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and go for that, I think. And I do remember this matchup. I think they must have a real, like, thick XL Azumarill here because these body slams aren't really doing too much. And they end up taking, like, 4 body slams and still ending up with a sliver of HP in the end. Actually, was it 3 body slams? Yeah, it's going to be 3 body slams. But, yeah, the one real down... So, Azumarill's obviously a monster in Great League. Everyone knows that. It's like the boogeyman. It's the thing that you have to make your team be able to beat. But the thing about it is, it's all about charge moves. So if you have shields, a Azumarill becomes so much worse. That's why Scrafty can beat a Azumarill in the 2 shields. That's why a lot of mons can really beat a Azumarill, unless it's something like just a pure dark type, maybe. But yeah, so you get to do a lot of damage if you have a shield. They do come with the Abomasnow. I don't want a shield. Obviously, we have Scrafty still in the back. They didn't switch in, even though it looked like it, because the death timer did happen probably at the same time that the switch window came up. So that Azumarill is KO'd in the back. Or, well, it's no longer in the back. And I think we're probably going to... Oh, wow. I thought they were going to do a Grass Knot there. Or Energy Ball, rather. And yeah, they have a Scrafty, not Scrafty. Sableye in the back. And yeah, we would have just gone straight foul play there. Mandibuzz, obviously this is very bad for our entire team. So I usually like to stay in for 1 hit on Hypno. Foul play doesn't do, I mean, it does a lot because it's super effective, but considering it's Mandibuzz, a very bulky mon, it's not actually going to do, like, it's not going to one-shot us. That's pretty much what I'm saying. So we want to get this super effective move off if we can. Now, they did get that foul play through, not the foul play, the Snarl through, so I do want to switch out to Muchlax here to eat that move so that no super effective damage is dealt to the Hypno there. And they bring in Toxicroak. This matchup's very polarizing. We almost always go for the Bulldoze. I really thought about going for double body slam here, but you know what? No guts, no glory. We're going for Bulldoze. It'll one-shot. The odds of Toxicroak shielding are pretty low. They do shield about 30% of the time, if I was to guess. From my matches, from what I've seen, about 30-35% of the time. But when they don't shield, it just one-shots. So yeah, don't bait. Well, you could go for the body slams. No one's going to fault you for going for the body slams there. They actually end up doing a lot of damage to Toxicroak. You could probably go for a 1 shield. Maybe it would work, maybe it won't. But yeah, we have this Muchlax to do a little bit of damage here. Obviously, the Lick's not doing too much, but the body slams are going to be doing a decent amount. It is bulky, so it's not going to be doing like amazing amounts, but you know, we're just trying to chip it down at this point. We're going to probably bring Scrafty into it. Actually, what did they have in the back? They had Toxicroak, so 2 things that are pretty decent against Scrafty. I imagine the thing that they have in the back is actually bad against Scrafty. So we do have the shield advantage. I come in Scrafty, and I try to farm up, but I'm actually just going to throw the foul play at this Hypno. Oh, we don't have the shield advantage. It's 2-2. But that's good for us because Mandibuzz is actually pretty low. We'll just pup through, and then the counters will just take it out over time since they're neutral. And as soon as I do this move, I jump right into my Hypno. I'm not going to shield anything on this Hypno. Do not care if it lives. I'm all in on the Scrafty. I just didn't want to have to shield this move so that I could save the shield for the Mandibuzz in the back. I'm also not going to throw any move here because I really want to save... I don't even want to pull a shield because if he shields, he's going to be able to throw a move at our Scrafty. And like I said, I do not want to shield anything with this Mandibuzz because I just want to go Power Up Punch and go right through this, which we're obviously going to be doing here. Actually, Aerial Ace only does like 35%, 30-35, something like that. So he would need to land 3 to KO us, and there's just no way there's enough time with neutral counters that are being, that the attack stats being raised on. So yeah, they end up leaving the game. So yeah, GG's today. Like I said, I went 15 for 25. I think it's my worst day of GBL this season. I don't think, I know it is. I've had a couple 16 9s. I think I had 2 16 9s, but mostly they've been around 19 plus wins. That's just going to happen. You're not going to be able to maintain 70% win rate for the entire season. That's just not possible. Yeah, the team's getting pretty well known, so people know how to play against it. That's one factor. 2, you know, you're getting up there in rank, and the higher you get, the more difficult the opponents are. They know how to play out matchups better. They know how they can push to the limits and all of that. So, yeah, I don't know why this instance sped up. Let me pause for a second. Alright, I sound like a crazy person, but this is Vergyverg from the future. I actually did speed it up, so you guys don't have to watch me trying to catch that Medicham forever. Anyways, thank y'all again so much for the support. I love y'all out there, and I hope I can keep giving y'all videos. Remember, Ultra League is actually coming up, and I actually have a few teams I want to try out. We have the Open Ultra team that I always use every season, and then I have a few new toys to use in Ultra League, so I'm going to want to try out Talonflame. But I have a feeling I'm going to like the Wing Attack Shadow Charizard a little bit more. That's what we ended up using at the beginning of last season. and actually liked it a lot. And we're really close to Scrafty. I say really close. I think we have a level 35 Scrafty with Best Buddy. So I really want to try out Scrafty, but I also still don't have an Umbreon. I need so many XLs. I think we're level 46. So a lot of grinding to do. Maybe the second half of the Ultra League, when it comes around in a month and a half, we can try out the Umbreon Scrafty. Well, I'm going to be trying out Scrafty no matter what, but maybe we can finally have that level 50 Umbreon. All right, thanks again for watching. Again, thanks, a huge shout out to the patrons, Marlon Day and Michael H, and I'll see y'all in the next one.